Hey, what's up, guys? We're live. We're back here on the Dead Man's Triad Wrestling Podcast. Guys, if you're into wrestling, join our podcast not every Sunday, but almost every Sunday, live on Facebook and YouTube. We have a chat if you want to chat with us during the show, talk about the topics that we talk about. I have my co-host here with me, Mr. Gerard Simonelli. What's up, Gerard?
How you doing, Matt? How things going over there?
All right, going great. Can't believe it. Another weekend, another week gone by, and here we are again on our podcast. So hopefully we get some listeners this week. I'm trying to put us out there. Guys, spread the word. If you haven't subscribed, please go to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to both. And, you'll find out what topics we're going to be talking about each week. We'll be announcing on our Facebook pages and on our YouTube channel. We'll announce any news there. So if you want to follow us, that's the way to do it. So, I don't know. How do we look? We look good.
You look good, Matt. You look great.
All right. Hope everybody likes our new background and our virtual backgrounds and our video there. Trying some new things here. If it looks horrible, give us feedback, guys. We can't listen and watch ourselves live, so I ask always, if you don't mind, give us some feedback about the show. Let us know what's going on, and that'd be great. So, Gerard, who are we talking about this week? If anybody didn't guess about, from the look of our poster here.
Well, today's topic is going to be Hulk Hogan.
Right.
The history of Hulk Hogan, movies.
Yeah.
He had an extensive career.
Oh yeah.
And Hulk Hogan, I believe, is wrestling. Period. Out of all the wrestlers out there, Hulk Hogan has to be number one. Everybody knows the name Hulk. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. Vitamins, wrestling, bodybuilding.
Yeah. Yep. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Hulk Hogan really good friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger in bodybuilding, and I think inspired Hogan to go into wrestling, if I remember?
I don't know if he got him into wrestling itself. I know it was the bodybuilding field for sure.
Right.
Yeah, he got into that for that.
Right. So
I think it was the Funks. I think the Funks might have, or the Briscoes got Hogan into wrestling.
Right. Okay.
They saw him working out. They saw his size, how big he was, and they introduced him to the wrestling field.
Yeah. I mean, he's done movies, multiple movies. If I'm not mistaken, I'm hearing that there's going to be a bio movie coming out about Hulk Hogan, and if anybody's familiar with the actor Chris Hemsworth, who played Thor in the Avengers, is going to play him, and I think that's a really good pick for an actor to play Hulk Hogan, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, they say his size. He's got a lot bigger in size now too.
Yeah.
Because I think they're doing another Thor movie right now.
Yeah, they're doing another Thor movie that's in the works to be released soon. I don't know when Hulk Hogan's biopic movie is going to be coming out. But they're also doing one about Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So
now, who's going to play Vince McMahon?
I have no
Donald
idea.
Trump?
I haven't heard.
Donald Trump.
I'm hearing rumors, believe it or not, I heard a rumor that possibly John Cena
is going to play him.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, he may look like him a little bit, the younger Vince McMahon. So, I don't know. I mean, it could work, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to see. So,
it's funny because those two always have a rivalry between the two.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan definitely laid his legacy out many years ago. When did he start out? Late 70s, early 80s, right?
1977.
Wow.
That's when he started his career. But they said it didn't take off to when he got into WWE or WWF at the time.
Yeah.
1983.
Right. So he was in what federation was he in before WWF?
I think he started with the it was NWA.
NWA, right?
Yeah, he beat Harley Race
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had
for
a
the
good
title.
he had a feud with Harley Race for a good long time there, and
Yeah.
those matches were good matches, between those two.
But they said the thing with Harley Race though, back in the days, if you threw somebody over the top rope, you got disqualified.
Really?
So supposedly he threw Harley Race over the top rope, and then the title really never changed place. So NWA doesn't actually have it on their records as him as champion.
Right.
Yeah, because it was illegal. It's an illegal win.
Yeah. Wow. And let's see. Of course, Hogan won the title from Iron Sheik. If I remember, that was his first WWF title.
Yes.
Iron Sheik, and his career from WWF took off after that.
Now you remember when the Iron Sheik came out? He beat Bob Backlund for the title, the Iron Sheik.
Because Bob Backlund had it for a very long time. He had it for I think 5 years or something. It was like the longest reigning champion for them back in the day.
Yeah, besides Bruno Sammartino being a champ for a long time, Bob Backlund took it from Superstar, and then after that, when Iron Sheik won the title, I mean, Hulk Hogan came in, and as soon as he came in the ring, that was just Iron Sheik didn't know what to do. He gave him his boot, his leg.
Yeah, and then Hulk Hogan headlined the first WrestleMania. He had a big feud with Andre the Giant. Yep.
Well, the first WrestleMania, didn't he have Mr. T in his corner?
Yeah, he had Mr. T in his corner. Yep.
And they went against Roddy Piper and that Terry Funk.
No,
Bob Orton.
Bob Orton. Yep.
His Cowboy Bob Orton. Randy Orton's dad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going back.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's when I had hair back then, so I was thinking more.
I was a little baby back then. Are you kidding?
Yeah, been even born.
Well, I was born in.
And the funny thing is, I'm looking at some of the different title matches, and Hulk Hogan, he actually started in 1979 as one of his first titles.
Oh, really?
He beat Ox Baker. It was called the NWA Southeastern Heavyweight Title. He actually won the title. He won the title twice. So he won a lot of wrestling matches and titles before WWE.
Right. That's cool. But, so, and then for people who don't know, because the newer generation, only knows him from like WCW on, but he was in Rocky 3. And I think that's how him and Mr. T thing kind of came to be, right?
Yep. Yeah, his game is Thunderlips.
Yeah, remember? Thunderlips.
And you remember his, do you remember his favorite line he kept using for Stallone?
No, I don't remember.
Meatball.
Yeah.
Meatball.
Yeah.
Put a meatball. Like, right, that's something. He's Italian. He's a meatball.
Yeah. So, and it's kind of unfortunate that, I don't know, in my opinion, like, he's got nobody in his family kind of following his footsteps. I think he tried to push his son, but I don't think any of them are doing anything in wrestling, really.
No.
Right?
Yeah. Didn't his daughter get married to a wrestler? I remember that his daughter got involved with wrestling for a little while.
For a little bit. In Impact Wrestling, I don't know if they really had a thing, but I know that in a storyline, before TNA became Impact Wrestling, and Hogan was over at Impact as like a general manager kind of person, she was in line to marry Bully Ray, and they had that whole storyline there, and I thought that was.
Was that the one they had the thing and everybody got involved and beat everybody up in the ring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because
was that ECW? Was that ECW? Was you gonna get married?
No, that was in TNA.
TNA.
Yeah,
So many different wrestling federations.
I know. But yeah, and then he still makes appearances every now and then. At the big pay-per-views and sometimes on Monday Night Raw when they do Legends Nights or whatever. But he can't really wrestle anymore. He's getting up there in age, and plus he's got extensive back injuries that he's endured over the years.
Well, how old is he? I think he's like 67 now.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Yeah.
I
He
don't know.
can't wrestle at 67, but look at what's name, Ric Flair.
What did you like better about Hulk Hogan? Did you like the red and yellow character about being all American, or did you like the heel Hogan when he was in NWO and WCW? Which did you like better? To me, the two characters were totally different, obviously, but
I like Hogan. I mean, every character he always played, but when he played the heel, I didn't like him as much. I know he was good, but to the point it got, it was just too much after a while. But I liked him it's hard to say because as I got older,
yeah,
I got more darker in my life, so I started getting more into the darkness.
you crossed to the dark side.
What I did not like, what I always hated with Hulk Hogan was he'd get beat up, then he start shaking the ropes, then he starts pointing his finger.
Yeah, the
finger back and forth, right? He used to go side to side.
Yeah.
That's right, side to side. You can't see my finger. It's just there. Then they come up, give the elbow, the rope, leg, pin, win. That's one thing I never liked about it. Otherwise, the NWO I liked. I did like him with the Wolfpack and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But different storyline.
Yeah, and then they of course had a whole bunch of different NWO spin-off stables, and that was getting a little out of hand. But you had NWO black and white. You had NWO black and red. You had the Wolfpack, and then you had like other ones. It was just it was getting to be a bit much.
Went up to
Yeah, but well, let's I guess delve a little bit into his history. Gerard did some homework. I see. The Dark Truth of Hulk Hogan. Yeah, he had a interesting lawsuit going on. What was it called? The Gawker.
Yeah, it was like trying to be a sex video, supposedly.
Yeah, some kind of sex video that I think got out without his permission or something. So I don't know.
Well, it was supposedly. I think it was a hidden camera. What I read about,
Mm-hmm.
and this how this person decided. The person who's in charge of this, the biggest line they got on the audio tell them is like, "Well, now this is where we can make our rich and famous fortune."
Yeah.
So they knew it was illegal what they did.
Right. Now, I think this was during a dark time of actually his personal life, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't he split from his wife, I think, for a little while, didn't he?
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Right. I don't know if this occurred during that, before that, but it's, I think that was obviously all connected, at a certain point. So, and then I think right after that is when he went to TNA Impact Wrestling. Was right after that.
Yeah, well, I know after this thing, he got let go for a while.
Yeah.
He got let go.
Yeah, because
and then that's when he made his comeback.
Yeah, because he burned a lot of his bridges, I think, with having that negative controversy in his career, and I think it hurt his legacy a little bit. And from my understanding, though, I think he made amends with a lot of people. He physically made amends with a lot of the wrestlers that he burned his bridges with. And even Vince McMahon, because, he started making appearances at big shows again. So I think they worked things out. So.
Well, and even today, even if they bring Hulk Hogan into the ring, every fan just goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody loves Hulk Hogan. No matter who, whether young or old, they just know Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And now it said, you see him. He came. He came in a couple months ago. I think they have for the one of the shows.
Right.
And he looks so bad. He doesn't look so bad.
Yeah. What's interesting here, Gerard? What you pulled up here is his net worth is what is it? 25 million a year.
25 million. Yeah.
That's per year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what he's making.
Wow. I mean, for a guy at 67 making that much. So.
But they say The Rock is like a lot more than he is at this point.
I think The Rock's probably like.
They say what?
I'm not sure what he makes, The Rock. Yeah, let's find out. I'll look it up.
You're starting to break up, Matt.
Am I?
Yeah, you're going in and out. I hear you and I don't hear you.
Okay, could be Skype.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now, but every so often you go in and out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's probably Skype.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're using Skype, guys, to kind of like to utilize this virtual background stuff. So, I don't know. Hopefully that audio is good. But
And just recently, I was watching No Holds Barred.
Yeah, he was in No Holds Barred. That was a good. I like that movie.
I mean, I think that's one of my favorite movies I watch. That's with David Arquette.
Yeah,
David Arquette's in that.
Yep.
And he's funny. And every time Hulk Hogan's getting beat up, he's going, oh!
The Rock's net worth. You ready?
Yeah.
400 million.
400 million. Okay, Batista's moving up there now too.
Yeah.
He's moving up there.
Let's see. We're going off topic here, but I'm just.
Yeah, but you're going behind the ring here. You're going behind the back.
Yeah. All right. Batista is actually making less than Hulk Hogan. 16 million a year.
Deadbeat.
And let's see John Cena. Holy cow. He's actually more than Hogan.
Really?
John Cena's net worth is 60 million a year.
60 million.
Jeez.
Well, but Hulk Hogan probably lost a lot of money because what happened is controversy days.
Yeah.
His network going to drop because of that. So.
Well, not only that, he's getting older.
Well, look at Ric Flair. He's another one that has a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's another one up there.
He's probably around the same net worth as Hulk Hogan. I would think. Yeah. Look it up. Holy cow, it's actually even less. 500,000. He only makes
peasant.
500,000 a year for Ric Flair. Poor Ric Flair.
Yeah, he's nobody. Peasant.
Wow.
So all the times he walks out with those Rolex, now it's no more Rolex watches.
Yeah. That's.
Maybe he's taking and he's just smashed the watches. A Rolex, nothing. He step all over it.
Yep. All right. So, what'd you think of the? I thought it was a silly gimmick. I threw a picture up there of what did he call himself when he wore the mask? Wasn't it the Patriot?
Hogan?
Yeah.
Ay, Jesus Christ! I don't remember that one.
He when he was making his comeback after he left WCW to come back to WWF at the time. He came back as the Patriot. He had like a side gimmick called the Patriot, I think, or the American. I don't know if it was the American or the Patriot, but he wore a mask, and he wore the red, white, and blue colors with red, white, and blue American flag wrapped around his tights and red, white, and blue boas. You call the boas that go around the neck.
Yeah.
But everybody knew it was Hulk Hogan.
You know when he first started wrestling, he won a title. His name was Sterling Gold.
That's right. I was trying to remember his first name. Sterling Gold. That's right.
It's Sterling Gold.
Yeah. Yep.
I think he beat a lot of good wrestlers back in the days.
Yeah.
Because he wrestled on Nick Bockwinkel.
Right.
I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, I do remember him. Well, when he became bigger as far as muscle wise, I think his wrestling abilities kind of got less. But when he was younger and not as built up as much, he used to have better wrestling matches.
Oh yeah. You keep freezing up, Matt.
Okay.
You keep freezing up.
Could be your end. I don't
You
know.
before. Yeah, I don't know. Because before you were like sitting still and weren't moving.
All right. Yeah, it could be Skype. Could be. But either way, guys, let us know, what you guys see in here and what you're seeing on video on your end. If you guys could let us know, it would be great. But, we'll try to improve things a little bit better as we go with this method. I mean, I like this method because we get to, really play around with the graphics and the background and stuff. And I like it. Makes it, a little bit, gives it a little more spice.
Guess what? Now I'm looking at the WWF Championship, 5-time champion. Right?
Right.
Now, everybody he wrestled and beat were actually excellent wrestlers. Because look at it, in 1984, he beat the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik, he wrestled against Hulk Hogan, he wrestled against Bruno Sammartino, he beat Bruno for the title. He was a good wrestler, Iron Sheik. Then after that, he beat Randy Savage.
Right.
Another excellent wrestler.
Yeah.
Another title match, he beat Sergeant Slaughter. Now, these guys are not schleps. These guys are good wrestlers.
Yeah.
Then he beat The Undertaker for the title.
Right.
And I think his last title reign was he beat, Yokozuna.
Yokozuna, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, he's wrestled big guys.
Yeah.
And, good wrestlers that are somebody big. Like, look at the wrestlers today. Look at the champions we have now. There's like nobody really up there.
Right.
Who's the biggest guy now? Bobby Lashley is the biggest guy right now.
Bobby
Lashley.
Well, they have these new big guys. They have that big bodyguard kind of dude that kind of valets with AJ Styles. I think is the biggest guy.
That's what I'm saying, but just the title wise right now, like who's in? Like right now, I think Bobby Lashley is like the main wrestler right now, right?
Yeah.
He's like the top guy now, and he was never anything big.
No.
What does he do? He's doing the Ken Patera move. you remember Ken Patera back in the days?
Yeah. He
used to do the same lock.
I like Bobby Lashley a lot. I think he's actually very underrated because he actually is very skilled. He not only wrestles, but he also does MMA style matches outside of wrestling. When he's not in wrestling, he goes to MMA, and he's actually well known in the MMA industry. So he's well diverse in his abilities in the ring. He's a good striker. He's a good submissions wrestler. And he can fly around the ring a lot for a big guy.
So we'll put a matchup. Put Bobby Lashley in his prime against Hulk Hogan in his prime. What's your take?
I'd have to go with Lashley, hands down.
Think so?
Yeah. I mean,
but can Lashley go like this with his finger?
And Hulk up?
and the Hulk up, and shake the ropes?
Yeah. Well, if you go with the promoters and how they decide the matches, it would be Hogan over Lashley back in the day, like in his prime.
Oh, yeah.
They would have him over him.
So if you look at today's wrestlers back to the old wrestlers, it's like night and day. But yet these guys are not small guys. They're all great wrestlers.
Right.
But like the name Hulk Hogan, everybody knows that name Hulk Hogan. If you say Bobby Lashley, it's like Bobby Lashley. Hulk Hogan, everybody remembers him beating the Iron Sheik.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the biggest match I think he ever did, was Iron Sheik.
Right.
Yeah.
For Hogan to turn heel the way he did after being the character that he has been for all those years, to me, that was the biggest reinvention of somebody to do that in the way he did it. I think really propelled his career at that time, because it was hard to have a wrestler reinvent himself the way he did it. And you know what I'm saying? Like the transition of going from being that star and then to turn into a big heel star. Like everybody was just in shock.
Yeah. Well, remember the children all started crying in the ring? That was like,
Right.
made little children cry. But after a while, you know what? But then the kids all started liking him again.
Right.
So by doing that, it got him changing from being this icon, lovable guy, teddy bear type guy
Right.
to the kids, to being a brute that gets other people involved. Because there are a lot of people who didn't like Hogan for that way.
Yeah.
So by transitioning, it was smart what they did.
It was smart. Because, like I said, I think it's hard for a wrestler to reinvent themselves. That's one of the reasons why I'm a big fan of Chris Jericho, because Chris Jericho is one of the few that know how to reinvent themselves with their character. And there's very few people that can do that.
Well, it's anybody. Let's say you might have somebody you really like, and they change his character, and no matter what he does, you're still going to follow him.
Yeah, that's true.
So he kept his old followers, and now they have the new followers who are getting involved.
Right.
Because after they started doing this NWO, you remember like a DX? Remember how Triple H came in and he did his thing?
Yeah.
And then when they started doing DX, and you got Shawn Michaels involved, and the stuff that they did, no matter how bad you hated half that group, you watched it because you laughed.
Right.
And that's what you talk about today.
Yeah.
You know?
And I hate to say it, but even though that was a big deal for him in WCW, but one of Hollywood Hogan's as NWO Hogan, when he came back to WWF, when they bought out WCW and they brought NWO back, remember Vince McMahon brought NWO back for a little bit, Hogan had a match with The Rock. That match at WrestleMania was one of his best matches at that age, during that time period for him. I think was one of his greatest matches he ever had was with The Rock at that WrestleMania. I don't know if you remember that. Did you watch that match?
Yes. In fact, I watched all the matches. I mean, at one point I couldn't watch it because I didn't have the service. So I didn't get to watch it until it came back on Monday Night Wrestling at the time.
Yeah. But as that character and as NWO Hogan, like I thought that was one of his best matches he ever had.
Well, look at The Rock. The Rock first came in. He was nobody special.
Yeah.
But when I first saw The Rock, I knew the way he presented himself, I knew this guy would be a TV star. I remember he came in, then he turned to be a total piece of garbage. Then he became loved by the kids. Again, he's another guy who could come at any time, no matter what he plays.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to like him regardless.
Right. But in my opinion, I don't know about you, but who helped wrestlers get to that stage in their career? You know who I think helped that? Believe it or not, I think Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Another heel.
He was a heel, but then became a big icon, and everybody started loving him, heel or not. And I think that his character, by doing that, I think helped these guys do that. That it laid the path for them, in a way. And I think he had a lot to do with that, in my opinion.
Look, every wrestler's done it, even like Randy Savage. Remember, everybody loved Randy Savage with Elizabeth. Then all of a sudden, he turned to be a piece of trash.
Yeah.
Everybody still loved Randy Savage.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Hulk Hogan, I think Hulk Hogan started like a lot of everything now.
Yeah.
He started with everything with the attitude wrestling, and then even the bodybuilding wise. Him and his flexing around the ring.
Yeah. Yep. He had a great. One of the feuds I liked a lot was him and Roddy Piper. They would go at it. Their promos were great. Like Roddy Piper was a great wrestler on the mic. Like his mic skills were like unreal.
Now, this thing, if Hulk Hogan never came to wrestling, how far you think wrestling would have gone from there?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think I can really.
Who would have been the icon? Because he held it for how long?
Right.
Champion, no champion. People just loved Hulk Hogan.
Right.
I mean, really think about it. Who else would have been there? Sergeant Slaughter? There's nobody.
There's only two people that come to mind, actually. Bret Hart could have been.
But I mean, all these guys came in after Hulk Hogan did his skit. What he does,
Yeah,
a lot of people followed him.
Yeah. And what about Shawn?
What's that?
What about Shawn Michaels?
I think Shawn Michaels followed Hulk Hogan's footsteps too.
Right. But
again, it was that look, that long blonde hair, the muscle, the moving around.
Yeah.
But even Shawn Michaels was nobody. I mean,
I know. I'm still like, although I'm still kind of like with the newer guys, but as far as back then, if he wasn't around, it's hard to say.
Even Triple H wasn't anything big. He came in as nobody. Hulk Hogan came into the scene and immediately took over.
Yeah.
He immediately took over.
Yeah.
Because that was Bruno Sammartino was the main guy back then.
Yeah. Well, what about Ric Flair? I mean, Ric Flair could have carried it, possibly.
Maybe. But he was never really too much, Ric Flair. He was just a champion.
Yeah, he was.
His interviews, like, you remember Hulk Hogan's interviews, was always yelling and Mean Gene. He always had something.
Yeah.
And you wonder, like, how would have truly gone if you removed him from wrestling?
Right.
That's like saying, all right, Matt, if you had a different father, what would you look like? You know what I'm saying? You don't know. And would you used to be cool or you be uncool? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's a good question, though. How about our audience? What do you guys think? If you have any comments about if Hulk Hogan was not around, how would wrestling become the way it is now? How would it get molded? How would it get shaped in the industry if Hulk Hogan was not ever there? That's a really good question, Gerard.
Yeah. Well, let's think. If he wasn't there, that means Jesse the Body wouldn't be there.
Yeah. A lot of guys wouldn't be there because Hogan brought a lot of guys in.
Yeah, and his attitude, the way he presented himself in that ring, with his music coming out, blaring, I tell you, flexing the muscle and getting everybody involved. But before him, who'd they really have?
Right. And as Hogan got older too, don't forget, he helped get guys over as well. He helped the Ultimate Warrior take that torch at that time period. He passed the torch to the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have Hogan, who would have taken the torch?
I don't think anybody.
Yeah. I mean,
I
don't think anybody was bigger than him.
No, because before Hulk Hogan was champion, they had Iron Sheik. He didn't do much.
Right.
Wrestling was just wrestling. It was just part of wrestling like nothing.
Yeah.
Now he made it more into entertainment.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys who had potential, but unfortunately, because of their negative personal life outside the ring, led to their demise in their career and their cutting their lives short because of drugs, abuse, alcohol, like whatever you want to consider, to affect these guys in their personal life. So you can't, it's really hard to say who had the potential.
No.
But
if it comes to mind that somebody says to you, wrestling, what's the first name you always think of wrestling?
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Macho Man and Macho Man, Undertaker. Yeah. It's just he always comes name. You mention his name, people are like, hey, I remember him. Oh, wasn't he in this movie? What? Yeah, they know him.
Right. I mean, they tried bringing guys in to have a bigger name than him, But no matter who they brought in, there was nobody at his level.
No.
I think. Do you think? How about this for a question? Do you think because of that, did that hurt wrestling? Because bringing a guy like Hulk Hogan in, who changed the industry the way he did, do you think that hurt wrestling? Because now they have to live up to that par that they put forth ahead of them, and now it's harder for companies to find a particular individual and wrestler to live up to that reputation. You know what I'm saying? So
I think, honestly, by bringing him in, it brought more people in to do other stuff. Because back then, they didn't really have these big high flyers back then.
No, they didn't.
I mean, Emil Mascaras was a wrestler back then. He was a high flyer, and that was before Hulk Hogan, but he was a Mexican wrestler.
Right.
But that was a big thing. He did flying. But now, since Hogan came in, the industry totally changed.
Yeah.
It's no longer wrestling no more. Now it's more fun.
Yeah, more entertaining.
But back then, you watch wrestling, you knew wrestling seemed more real back then.
Yeah.
Now these guys are stuntmen, and it's interesting. I like watching. I mean, I'm old. I'm 54 years old, and I still watch wrestling like a little kid.
Yeah, me too.
Because I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I like watching and stuff. But when you watch some of these little guys wrestle, you're like, this match sucks. You mute it, put something else on TV, whatever, and come back to it.
Yeah.
But anytime Hulk Hogan came to wrestle, I would just sit there and watch because I liked the way he wrestled. I didn't like when he was losing, like I told you, and then he'd come out of nowhere and he'll win the match in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You're like, why didn't you do this in the beginning?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with WWE right now because it's like they changed from wrestling to entertainment, and I get why they went in that direction, because I guess they had to change it so that they can have a broader creation, with their roster and their storylines and the audience to captivate different ages, and I get why they did that, but for me, I don't know about you, but I truly miss like wrestling. Like the focus on the wrestling itself has kind of gotten lost in the entertainment factor.
Of course. See, I don't know. You haven't watched wrestling a long time yourself, but I remember watching it as a kid. I was 10 years old, 9 years old, watching wrestling, and every time somebody bled on TV, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And then at one point, they started putting X's or black lines on the TV over the blood. And I'll be like trying to get close to the TV set to try to look under the X.
Right.
So I believe after a while, they could only do so much.
Yeah.
Because after 10 o'clock at night, when wrestling started getting more and more WWF at the time, for entertainment, at 10 o'clock, that's when they started taking away the X's and the black lines over the cuts.
Yeah.
So what I read about to make it entertainment, because now if it's entertainment, now they can get more raunchy at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, like it's a TV show,
right?
Which gets other audiences involved, and now you can't complain, oh, my kids what? Then you shouldn't have your kids up 8 o'clock at night watching an entertainment.
Right.
It's no longer wrestling.
Right. Which is why I think they should steer away from the whole, PG-13 thing, because they can, get better ratings if they focus more around the raunchier, can get away with a lot more things, without the whole PG-13 thing. But I don't know. What was I going to say? I can't believe there's a lot of backlash from the fans about their most recent releases on their roster. They released Lana, they released Aleister Black, Braun Strowman, who are all big, big stars on their roster that were main eventing, headlining main event matches at big shows, and they were building their character with storylines that they were just starting to bring them back. And, they repackaged Lana again to be part of the women's tag team division. She was tag teaming with Naomi. And now all these people are released, and everybody's like, "What the hell?" And I was talking to my brother-in-law, who's also a big wrestling fan. I don't know about you, Gerard, but what we were talking about is they're not hurting for money. So to have the reason of it being because of economic reasons, there's got to be a lot more to it than they're telling. Because if it was over money, they're not hurting for money because they just sold their network over to Peacock, NBC Universal Service. They sold their network to that and probably got a crap load of money for it. And they're making all these deals with all these companies. They're in the midst of working something out with New Japan Wrestling, from what I hear. And in my opinion, it's not because of money. Because why would they cut them because of money?
I don't know.
It makes you wonder.
I mean, look at what happened to Rusev. Is he still around?
Well, he's known as Miro. He's known as Miro now. He got signed by AEW, and I'm sure he's happy as hell that she got released because now they can work together again.
Yes,
I'm
he's
sure.
gone now too.
She'll be with them eventually because they're married in real life.
Yeah, because like saying she's gone. Because I remember I haven't seen him in a while, so he got left go.
Right.
But Braun Strowman, I like Braun Strowman. I did like him. I didn't like when he used to come out as the dancing guy. Remember he used to come out?
Yeah.
I forgot that one wrestler used to come out with everybody dancing with him.
Yeah.
And Braun Strowman, I didn't know was one of those guys.
Yeah.
And you know what? They even said if you look, a lot of regular wrestlers were part of that dancing show.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
I know.
But
that's because they don't know what to do.
I like them.
They don't know what to do with them.
No.
And I'm sorry, but I blame the creative writing team, and I also blame Vince McMahon. I think it's time for him to just kind of, move on. Like, let somebody else younger take over the reign and make better decisions, business decisions. Not that I'm saying that he's made horrible ones, but he hasn't made that great of decisions, letting go certain people. And all these wrestlers that they've released over the last couple of years have had great potential to be good, talent for them. And they don't know what to do with them. And that's the love-hate relationship I have with the company right now, because they drop these guys that have good potential, and you're like, what the heck?
I don't know about you, but the one thing I don't like with the wrestling is these triple threat matches. If a guy's going to wrestle for a title, there shouldn't be a triple threat for a title. And like you say, you got like Bobby Lashley's champion now. And now he can't lose for some reason.
Right.
Drew McIntyre was champion. He could never lose, but once he lost the title, he can't win it back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Like with Hulk Hogan, he lost the title tonight. Tomorrow night, he wins it back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're a true champion, like Hogan was a champion, he would always lose the title. You have it maybe, a month, sometimes a night, and lose the next day.
Yeah.
But he win it right back.
In my opinion, they have too many guys going after the one title. And they only have so many titles, which I understand that. You have the IC, you have the United States, you have the Tag Team Championship, you have the Intercontinental, and then you have the two heavyweight belts, right? You have too many guys going after the heavyweight belt. I think you should start making more out of the other titles, the IC title and the United States title, and give other guys that may not be able to, get the main title to go after the IC or United States title, make a tournament, whatever. But again, they have a huge roster that they don't know what to do with. And that's why you don't see these guys on TV, because they don't know where to put them.
No.
The fans know.
There's too many headliners.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And that's why they're doing triple threat matches, like you were saying, because they don't know. They figured, well, it'll be more fair for the three of them to go for the title, because we have the three of them in line for the title. So therefore, if he at least gets a shot at the title, that's fair for him. And yes, it is fair for him, but it may not necessarily be a good match.
So what they want they just do this. If they're going to have that many headliners, you get the best of the best, and they want a title match. You put them in a battle royal. Only the best of the best.
Right.
No schleps. Just guys who are number one contenders. You put them in the 8 of them, an 8-guy match, one shot.
Yeah.
And you have to be pinned.
Yeah.
Not thrown over the rope, and you pin the guys.
Like, I enjoyed. I don't know about you, but they sometimes would have these gauntlet matches. And I thought gauntlet matches were great because, yeah, it was like the best of the best, and they were in line for a title shot, so they would all compete for that spot. And that's what you should constantly be doing, and then, eventually you go through them all, and then you find out, who's going to last out of all of them. But anyway, the fans can write a hell of a lot better than what their current writers can do. Because let me tell you, if they listen to the fans more, their business would be better.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't care. It's all about money for them.
Oh, that's with these guys. It's all about the money. But and everybody else about the virus and things. Nothing's changed in the wrestling field. Minus the fans in the stands, everything's exactly the same.
Right.
The writing stayed the same. Everything's exactly the same.
Yeah, I agree. So,
remember Rey Mysterio Jr. came in and he became the Giant Killer.
Yeah.
He beat everybody, all the big guys.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that ended.
I know.
Okay, I mean, I understand he got older now, but you know what I'm saying. But that's what they did. They allowed him to beat the Giant, to beat this one, beat that one. Would have made it interesting because it made little people feel like me. I'm small. Made me feel good. I could beat somebody big. Like I said, we keep going back to Hulk Hogan, and he was just everything he did in wrestling was for wrestling.
Yeah.
It was never about Hulk Hogan. It was always about the fans. I mean, after he became black and white, then became Hulk Hogan. That was part of his show.
Yeah, well, that was part of his. Yeah.
Yeah, but everything he did was always for the wrestling.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had a little bit of both. He was entertaining, with how he came to the ring, his entrance, what he did outside the ring. There was a little bit of entertainment that he did, but that's what made him who he was, because he was the whole package. And unfortunately, I think that's why they let a lot of these guys go, because they think maybe they don't have the whole package like these guys.
You remember the Mega Powers?
Yeah.
And I have to find it. I'll send it to you. And they said the interview on shrooms. Yeah, like shrooms. And it had him and Macho Man. And the interview with Mean Gene, you couldn't understand one word. Oh, Mean Gene. Oh. And they go, this is an interview on shrooms.
That's funny. Yeah.
And then Hulk Hogan, that's interviews. He used to come in. And remember, then he used to flex and walk backwards off the thing.
Yeah.
I was he doing those oh.
Yeah.
And then who started doing that? Jesse the Body Ventura.
Right.
Flowers. See, right now I'm looking at this thing. I'm looking at Hogan. I have a picture of Hulk Hogan now, and he has flowers around his neck.
Yeah.
And now, if you go back in the days when Superstar Billy Graham wrestled, Superstar Billy Graham was another wrestler that came off. Hogan took his footsteps.
Yeah, he did.
Then after that, after Hogan, it was going to Jesse the Body, but Jesse went to politics and everything else. But I think if Jesse the Body would have stayed with the wrestling, you would have seen he may have taken the reins. Because he was that type of guy.
Possibly, yeah, because he was doing everything. He was doing movies and wrestling.
He came with the flowers, with the feathers and everything.
Yeah.
And he had big size. So you went from Superstar Billy Graham, Hulk Hogan, Jesse, but then Jesse weaseled out, and then Hulk Hogan continued. And after that, everything became everything that is now.
Yeah. Yep. We got 10 minutes left of the show. I don't think we have any viewers. But I just want to take this moment to our audience, whoever watches this, that we need some help getting our show out there. So if you don't mind, spread the word. Spread the love on social media for us. Share it, whatever you can. We try to build our audience up here. We're going to do things a little bit differently with our format of the show. We're going to get more behind the scenes, kind of discuss a little bit more, about what they do outside the ring a little bit. I hope you guys enjoy our format of the podcast. I think it was really good today, actually, Gerard. I think we really got into some good stuff today.
Oh yeah, it was actually good today. Actually, it depends on the topic sometimes, though.
Yeah.
It was like, but like a guy like Hulk Hogan, you could talk all day about him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's one thing is I'm looking here. He won a title with Edge.
Did he really?
Yeah, and in 2002 they defeated Billy and Chucky, whoever they are. Hulk Hogan. It was Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Edge.
Oh wow.
But then they lost the title to the Un-Americans, Lance Storm and Christian Cage.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, WWE World title, tag team title. If you notice, I sent something up there, all his world championships.
Yeah, I'm looking.
You gotta check it out. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, the complete title history.
Yeah, and it's actually really good. Check it out.
Yeah,
I've been looking up that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them a plug here if you guys want to learn about his title history. It's HulkHoganHistory.weebly.com. So that's what it says here. This was his other name, Terry the Hulk Bodler.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, Sterling Gold. Bullet Bob Armstrong. That was another big feud he had.
Yep.
The Armstrong brothers. There's a big family.
Yeah. If you go down here, there was over in March 14, 1999.
Yeah.
It's called Uncensored. It's a Nature Boy pinned Ric Flair in the first blood cage match. I don't think I ever saw that match.
Wow.
Pretty interesting, right? But if you look at all his titles, again, he's beat everybody who's been a good wrestler.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now.
Everybody he beat was a professional wrestler who's a main headliner.
The Undertaker beat Hulk Hogan. Survivor Series 1991.
Yep.
Let's see.
Did Sting beat Hulk Hogan?
Really?
Yeah. That was on 9/12/99.
Yeah.
If you go down to the fifth reign of April 20, 1998 to July 6, 1999,
Right.
98. If you go down there, it has him on that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But everybody he beat was a headliner.
Yep. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. He actually in 2002 beat Hunter Hearst Helmsley at Backlash pay-per-view as Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
That's right. He's beat everybody.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about with the Edge and Hogan. Wow.
Yeah, that's at the bottom of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I've never knew he won the title. I mean, did he win a title with the Mega Powers?
I thought they won the tag titles, didn't they?
I'm not sure. I know they didn't last long as the Mega Powers. I don't see it up here as a championship. I don't see anything with the Mega Powers winning the title. I thought they did, but I don't see it.
Yeah. I thought they won the tag titles. I'm looking it up right now just to see.
Yeah.
So, Randy Savage was the IC champion Intercontinental Champion at the time when he teamed with Hogan. And Hogan was the heavyweight champion. And they were feuding with King Kong Bundy and Killer Khan.
Killer Khan. Yeah.
And this was also in the aid of when Randy Savage turned heel, when he turned on Hogan.
Yep.
So no, they never won the tag title. So they Randy Savage was the Intercontinental Champion, and Hogan was the WWF champion. But and it built up to their feud when Hogan went against Randy Savage when he was heel.
That's right.
And they had the whole Miss Elizabeth storyline. All right, so guys, we got 4 minutes left. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Allergies. Anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed our topic today about Hulk Hogan. We're highlighting wrestlers each time we have our Dead Man's Triad Wrestling podcast. Guys, follow us on Facebook. Gerard, where can they watch and listen to our show?
You can check us out on YouTube.
Yep.
At the Dead Man's Triad podcast. And you can also find us on Facebook. And if you're nice, you can watch us live.
Yeah, if you're nice, yeah. Sunday mornings are tough. So a lot of our friends stay up late Saturday night, so they're probably all still sleeping in late.
Well, we all friends are paranormal investigators, so they're used to sleeping late.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're a wrestling fan, grab a cup of coffee and join me and Gerard. And sometimes Ronnie joins us. He surprises us once in a while. We do have a third co-host. His name is Ronnie Anderson, but he's been tied up a lot lately. No pun intended.
Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, he does. He looks like Jeff Jarrett. So anyway, gonna end the show here, guys. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Sunday. Gonna go ahead and play our video. Gerard, any last words?
So everybody's enjoying this week. Enjoy, stay safe. And don't forget, there's wrestling on, I believe, next week. The Backlash, or I know there's another title events coming up on Peacock.
Peacock.
Yeah, Peacock. This doesn't sound right.
I know.
I honestly, I don't like the Peacock, honestly. I like WWE better. That Peacock thing.
I don't think they should have ever sold it.
No.
And if they were going to sell it to a better company.
Yeah, it's a pain in the neck. I got to click on it. I'm trying to find my old matches. I can't. It's.
Well, you know what the problem is with, I don't want to get political because that's not what this show is about. It's about wrestling. However, unfortunately, that company who bought them they get a little bit political about their content, and therefore they're picky about what's in the wrestling library that they bought out. So they're not going to be sharing on their network some of the very controversial things that took place back in the day during the Attitude Era. The blood that took place, in some matches. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be cut from the library because of political circumstances. And that's one reason why I think it was a bad mistake on their end to sell it to this company.
Yep, I feel the same way.
Yeah. As a fan, I kind of feel gypped.
Yeah.
So, that's my opinion.
I have to go buy DVDs again. What's a DVD?
Yeah. But, you know what? I'm going to plug YouTube. You can find everything on YouTube. If you can't find it, try YouTube, man. Go on YouTube. You can find everything there.
Yeah, like our podcast.
Yes. All right. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend. And, I don't know. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Gonna play our video.